welcome back to my channel. It's me, Ashlyn, and today we're going to be getting into some book talk, such as like what books I like to read, what I'm currently reading, and books that I don't like so much. Okay, so the first book of today's video is Twisted Love. This is the first book of the Twisted series. There's 4 books in total. I have read 3 of the 4, and I started the 4th one today. So I love this book so much, but there are other like better books in the series. I'll put my rating of the books up somewhere, but yeah, like it was very good to start off with, but like as the series kept going, the books just kept getting better. I would definitely rate it a 4 out of 5 stars because there are just a lot of like crazy plot twists. I would definitely recommend to someone who is like looking for a good book to read. There is a lot of spice in this book, so maybe not for younger people, but definitely a great read. Okay, next is Twisted Games. This book was really good, and it kind of, not gonna lie, put me into a reading slump, mainly because like the storyline was good, the characters were good. It was just like I didn't want to read anything else because I didn't know if it would be as good as this one. It's pretty good. I'd give it like a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not that it's bad, it was just kind of anticlimactic, if you know what I mean. There wasn't as many like plot twists or like crazy things happening. So next up is my favorite book out of the entire series so far, Twisted Hate. I finished this one yesterday. It was so good. Like Jules and Josh just had like that chemistry make you wanted to keep reading, because there were also a lot of plot twists, a lot of like really interesting things going on with the characters and their relationship together. So it was just like really good to see how they kind of got along even after all the obstacles they faced, and their relationship is my favorite by far. And now we're moving on to the 4th book, Twisted Lies. So I started this one this morning, and I can't really give like a thorough rating on it right now. Like I said, I haven't really read it, but if it's anything like the other books, it's gonna be really good. There's gonna be some plot twists. It's gonna be pretty exciting. But I would definitely recommend this series to anyone who's like just getting into reading and don't know like what they're going for. It's a really good series to get started. Like I said, there is a lot of spice in all the books, but you can kind of work around those chapters sometimes. The series rating, like as a whole, I'm gonna give a 4.5 out of 5 stars, mainly because I don't know what's going on in the last book yet, so I can't really rate it fully as far as that goes. But so far this series has been so good, so definitely a 4.5. So next up is another series. It's actually a trilogy, but I don't have all 3 books yet. So it's the Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then I have the 2nd book, but I don't have the 3rd one yet. I've also only read the first one, but based off of the first one, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really entertaining, but it didn't like keep me on the edge of my seat. Like it was entertaining, there was a good mystery. It was like a good murder mystery, but it wasn't like super crazy. The storyline between Pip and Robbie was really good. Like they had that chemistry. Pip was like a really good character to carry like throughout the book because she was so like determined and everything. She was definitely like a really good detective and did a really good job at what she was trying to do. Also, the plot twist at the end was crazy. Like, she did all that investigating, she had all the suspects lined up. If you haven't read that book already, go check it out. It's so good. Now we are moving on to If He Had Been With Me. This book broke me in ways I can't explain. It was so good. Oh my gosh. It was so good. And like the slow burn of Finney and Autumn was just like so like cool to watch or read about. And I love the childhood friends to like distant friends to like a lover situation that they had. The ending broke my heart. Like, what did he do to deserve that? So, like I said, their slow burn was really cute to watch, but something that made me really upset was the relationship that Autumn had with Jamie. He was terrible. So, Jamie cheated on Autumn with her best friend, and she was heartbroken. But ultimately, it led her back to Finney, so it's all okay. But like, what did she do to deserve that? He was just being a jerk. But then again, he was a jerk throughout the whole book. So, also, there is like, I'm pretty sure a second book. I can't remember the title, but I'm pretty sure it's something like If She Would Have, or If I Would Have Told Her. I don't really know, but I definitely want to read that. Next up, we are getting into some controversial picks. Mainly because people don't like the author. Books necessarily aren't controversial, it's the author. It's Colleen Hoover, guys. So this one, Reminders of Him, the cover is so cute. So cute. Basically, so this girl is dating this guy, and they were dating for a long time. She got pregnant, and then they got into like a drunk car crash, and he passed away. And so she went to jail for like reckless endangerment or something like that, and she had the baby, but she obviously couldn't take care of it, so the baby went to stay with her dead boyfriend's parents. And whenever she gets out of jail, she goes to the town where that like her daughter and her dead boyfriend's parents live, and she tries to like rekindle the relationship with her daughter, and she ends up meeting this guy, which was his best friend, which was named Ledger. Yeah. So she meets him, and they end up falling in love, and she ends up being able to rekindle her relationship with her daughter because Ledger also watches her daughter. It was like Scotty and Ledger were best friends, so Ledger got to see the kid. It worked out for everybody. Another one of her books, this one was insane. Verity. This book was so weird. It was like good and weird at the same time. Okay, so this girl named Lowen, she runs into this guy named Jeremy on a way to like a book meeting or something like that. She was a writer, and his wife was a writer, and basically his wife had gotten into a car crash and like couldn't move or do anything, supposedly. And so he was trying to find someone to write, like finish his wife's writing. Well, she moves in with them and everything, and she's like writing, falling in love with Jeremy even though he's married. But then Verity, his wife, starts popping up. It was just so weird. And then she found, like while she was writing, she found this manuscript that Verity had written about her and Jeremy. She murdered their daughters. So that's kind of crazy. That's actually insane. But then at the end, they end up killing Verity so they can be happily ever after, which was wild. Like, okay, granted, I think she did try to kill them, but like, that's still insane. Like, that's still crazy. Moving on to what I think is going to be the last book of today's book talk is Archer's Voice. This book holds a very near and dear place in my heart because tell me why this book is so good. It's so good. So basically, this girl and her dad worked at like this restaurant, and somebody broke in and killed her dad. And so she wanted to get away from her city. She wanted to like take a break. So she takes like a vacation to this little town that has like a beach and everything. She just wants to get away. And she ends up meeting this guy there named Archer. And everybody thought that since he couldn't talk, like he couldn't hear, so nobody talked to him. But he actually could hear. He just couldn't talk because he like got shot in the throat by his dad or something. And so since her dad was deaf, she was able to talk to Archer through sign language, and then they built like a friendship and eventually in a relationship. And oh my gosh, it was so cute. Like they got along, like the character bonding was so good. Like it was so well written. Everything in that book was just so amazing. They ended up like getting married and having kids at the end, which was so sweet. They were like such a good couple. They were literally so cute. Oh my gosh. So I would rank this book a 5 out of 5. It was so good. There were like some plot twists in there that had you like wanting to read more, like wanting to figure out where the direction of the story was going. Such a good book. Would 100% recommend to anybody and everybody. I don't really know if I remember correctly, but I think that there was a little bit at least of spice. I don't really know. I think there was though. Not a lot. You could like probably skip the chapters. So that is all for today's book talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You go check out my TikTok and my Pinterest, which will be put at the end. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. That's all for today.